right, everybody, this is Doug Vass, and I'm here with the legend, Nathan Ricks. Nathan has been with Nu Skin now for over 20 years, right?
Right.
And made more than $40 million with Nu Skin. And I mean, I mentioned this on the call the other day, that there's a good friend of mine who's been in this industry a long time, and I asked him, I said, who's one of the best networkers in the world? And he said, Nathan Ricks. So my privilege to talk with you here today, Nathan. So it's great to be here. And so, you know, we were just talking about, you know, where Nu Skin is going internationally, because I see that, you know, Japan and Taiwan and Korea, these markets, I mean, they've really blown up. But we see that, you know, the United States, I'm hearing, is like $200 million, but I mean, that's so small,
right?
You know?
Right.
And then you've got Europe and the rest of it. Talk a little bit about what's going to happen internationally in the next 5 years with Nu Skin.
Well, I think not only are we going to have tremendous growth just in the domestic markets, the U.S., Canada, you know, Europe, all these countries we're already in, we're going to continue to grow those countries. But there's huge opportunity coming up in places like India, you know, which will in the end be the most populous country in the world. So you've got that one, you've got other ones in Southeast Asia like Indonesia that just started here a couple of years ago that has 300 million people or somewhere on that order. You know, you've got all kinds of countries in Eastern Europe still that we haven't opened yet. So there's lots of things. South America, lots of countries down there that will happen eventually. And
we're opening Argentina this year. Right?
Argentina and Chile, and then you've got just all these other ones in between, you know, that we haven't opened yet. So there's 500 million more people there. So it's just, you know, you look at other companies that are in 130 countries, 150 countries, some of the older companies, and you know, we're in 50 markets right now. So we got a long way to grow internationally. But even besides all of that, that's all a no-brainer. Everybody looks at that, they can go, great, I can see you can position, you can capture a big chunk of those countries, right? And that will happen. Somebody will do it. You know, this isn't our first rodeo.
Yep.
We've done it 50 times. Yep. So we know every time we do it, somebody becomes, you know, a multi-millionaire. Sure. Multiple people become multi-millionaires every time we do a country.
Yep.
So that's already decided. That's a foregone conclusion. But I think what people need to realize is that we really haven't even grown in the U.S.
Yeah.
You know, 200 million is nothing. I mean, we should be $1 billion in this market alone. Easily $1 billion, okay? So we're going to continue to grow in these markets. And maybe one example of that kind of hunger of what's going to happen in the future is Hungary. Today, we're introducing something called System 7. That's what's going to be talked about all afternoon. Yep. And in Hungary, where they have been running System 7 for 5 years, you're talking about a country that has average incomes of $500 to $600 a month. And that's 10 times that in the U.S. Yep. Okay? You're talking about a country that has a total population of 10 million people. Wow. Okay, 10 million people. They're bringing 4,000 to 5,000 people into their Success Olympic events over there, these big events they do 3 times a year. These people will generate this year between $50 and $60 million of revenue.
$50 to $60 million.
So a quarter of what the United States is doing right now. Yet the population is
30 times smaller.
30?
Yeah, with 10 times less.
And it all comes down to the system, because that's what the fundamental
is. It is absolutely the system. And so, you know, today we're rolling out some of those things that are going to really spur the growth of the business. And what we're doing really different than anybody else is we're making network marketing history, right? Because we actually really do pay money. Unlike a lot of other companies that are really old, we pay more money than any publicly traded network marketing company in the world. On an annual basis, we pay a higher percentage of commissions.
That's big.
If you take the top 5 network marketing companies in the world, let's just say there's 11 companies that are over $1 billion that belong to the Direct Selling Association. There's 11. Okay, 5 of those are direct sellers, like Avon. We wouldn't count them as a network marketing company. Yeah. But you've got Amway and Herbalife and Forever Living. You've got, you know, 6 companies that we would say those are network marketing companies. Okay, they have a multi-level type compensation structure. You look at those 6 companies, okay, every one of them employs a breakaway compensation plan. There's not one of them that's a binary or a unilevel or a matrix or anything else. Okay, what that says is there's no compensation structure yet proven to produce billion-dollar companies in our industry other than a breakaway company. Okay, so if you're a business person, you say, I want the best chance of success. Well, you want to have the biggest company you can get, because the more volume that's there, the more piece of the pie you can get for yourself. That's going to be a breakaway compensation plan. we're the youngest of all the companies on the list. Okay, we have the smallest sales of all the companies on the list. We pay 12 to 18% more in commissions than all the companies on the list. The next nearest one of our peers. Okay, and we're in at least 20 fewer countries than our next nearest peer on the list. So you just stop and say to yourself, okay, what does that mean? Well, that's obvious, and this is like an intelligence test. Are you stupid? What that means is that we're going to grow the deal to 5, 6, 7, 10 billion eventually, and the greatest growth isn't 0 to 1 billion. Right. The greatest growth is 1 to 5 billion and 1 to 10 billion. And so people like me will not keep pace with that unless I want to go out and continue recruiting.
Yep.
Right? I've got to create new things that are in my pay line, otherwise it's so far and so deep that I don't really benefit from the growth unless I want to go add more people.
That's an important point that I think that I want to bring up here is that a lot of people that are, never been in multi-level or network marketing, they always have this assumption that, it's a pyramid or this sort of thing. And you just made a comment about the fact that if you want to increase your check, if you want to grow your business, you've got to get out there and still continue to recruit and build like I do. I'm just starting my business, right? But I can literally supersede your check. Oh, absolutely. Building, and I believe that actually people will make more money than the guys in the last 20 years, like we've got, Dan and Mark and these guys.
That's
but
right.
I mean, literally we'll be making bigger checks because the growth will just be that much quicker and will go that much faster when you get that new blood in your front line. You get these people excited, it really grows. So that's very true, isn't it?
Yeah, it is absolutely true. So for people that think that, that's probably a logical thought because a lot of things people see are in fact pyramid schemes. Right. They're illegal. And the top guy will make the most money, no matter what. That's not the case. Pyramid schemes rely on an ever-increasing number of new recruits. That's why they're illegal. It's like a big Ponzi scheme. It's like a Bernard Madoff, take the money from the new guys and pay the old guys and make them have the illusion that they're getting a return. No, they're not. Right. Okay? That's the problem with pyramid schemes. And the acid test for a company like Nu Skin is just say the company came out tomorrow and said, no more recruiting. No one can sign anybody else if we're done recruiting worldwide. Would the company go out of business? No. A pyramid scheme would.
Yeah.
But if you have true product purchasing and consumption, our sales would go down from our promotional volume, the recruiting volume for that month. But we have this unbelievable base of business. It's about 80% of our business is just automatic shipment, automatic delivery orders that keep happening on a monthly basis. So no, we wouldn't go out of business. We'd make a little bit less money, but it wouldn't kill the company.
Yeah, because people really want the products.
And they really consume the products. Yeah. So those are things that, key differentiators as you try to look at what's real and what's not. So people have to disabuse themselves of these ideas that they've commingled in their mind about legitimate network marketing versus, unfortunately, a lot of pyramid schemes. So once you decouple that and you really look at this for what it is, then you say to yourself, okay, it's all just volume boxes. Okay, my volume box, is 6 levels deep, and I got 12 wide and 6 levels deep. But if you come in and you want to go 24 wide, you'll get paid 6 levels on 24 wide. So your volume box is twice the size of my volume box, and everybody gets paid on their own 6 levels. So, if you want to have 50 wide, then you're definitely going to make more money than me. Because everybody grabs their volume box wherever it fits in the network, right? So it's